Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it, and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? So Virgo, we do have the 9 of Pentacles, we do have the 2 of Pentacles, and then we also have the 10 of Wands out here. I'm getting an overall energy of you releasing yourself from something that has been extremely burdensome. I am definitely getting that. So whatever this thing is that was creating like a massive burden in your life, it's something that I do see you like finally freeing yourself from, or you plan on finally freeing yourself from whatever this thing is that has been extremely burdensome for you. So this could be referring to possibly, a marriage, maybe even a relationship or a friendship. For some of you, this could have a lot to do with possibly, a job, but whatever this thing is that has been extremely burdensome in your life, it's something that I feel you're starting to essentially realize isn't worth keeping in your life, anymore. If all it's going to do is bring drama, chaos and dysfunction and stress into your life, it's like you're starting to kind of realize whatever this thing is that you've been holding on to that hasn't been serving you. And like I said, all it does is bring nothing but negativity into your life anyways. It's something that I see you starting to basically realize it's just not worth continuing to keep around. If that means it's just going to continue to stress you out, if that means it's just going to continue to bring, dysfunction and, instability, into your life. So either you've already freed yourself from whatever this thing is, or you're about to very, very soon. But let's look at this 10 of Wands energy. Tell me more about the 10 of Wands. Whatever this thing is that has been stressing you out, whatever this thing is that has been stressing you out and bringing nothing but like negativity, and just burdens, to be honest, in your life, it's something that I do feel like you were extremely emotionally attached to. I am definitely getting that. Which made it very hard for you to remove whatever this thing was, from your life, due to the fact that there was a very strong sense of emotional attachment that you had towards this job of yours, towards this marriage that you were in, or this relationship that you were in, or the situationship that you were in. But like I said, Virgo, if you've already freed yourself from whatever this thing is, it's like you're noticing a drastic shift within your energy. It's like you find yourself feeling 10 times lighter now that this thing is not in your life. And this could literally be like a job that we're referring to, or possibly even a person that, we're referring to here. But with the 3 of Cups coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you did have a lot of people in your ear, Virgo, telling you hey, this job is just not good for you. They don't value or appreciate you there. Or, hey, Virgo, this person's not good for you. They just don't value and appreciate you. I feel like you had people in your ear, Virgo, telling you to let go of whatever this thing was that was creating nothing but stress and burdens, you know what I mean, in your life. And it kind of looks like you're finally deciding, you know what, I'm just going to let this go. I'm just going to let this go because it's not serving me. It's not doing anything for me. I'm just going to let this go. I'm just going to let this go. And like I said, Virgo, this was a very hard thing for you to do as far as letting go of whatever this thing was that was stressing you out and creating nothing but burdens, in your life. I am definitely getting that. But now that you're finally deciding to release whatever this thing is out of your life, you find yourself in a much better place now than you did when you had whatever this thing was in your life, whether it had been a job or, possibly even a person. But let's look at whoever decides to show up to the right of me for you. So in regards to how they're currently viewing, oh, it kind of looks like it was a person. It kind of looks like it was a person that you were dealing with. So at first I thought, well, maybe this has a lot to do with possibly a job that was, stressing you out. Maybe, people just didn't really value or appreciate you there. But it looks like this has more to do with a person, Virgo, than a job, is basically what I'm getting. It's like the moment you decide to free yourself from this person, is like the moment they decide, you know, to like do right by you and this connection that they share with you is basically what I'm gathering. It looks like this person went from not taking you or this relationship that they share with you seriously to now wanting to take you in this relationship that they share with you seriously. And I do see this person expressing that to you. I do see this person communicating all of that to you. So let's see how you are actually feeling about all of this, because I do see them expressing all of this to you, Virgo, as far as like them, you know, willing to do whatever it takes, right? To like keep you in their life and, you know, make this relationship between the two of you work. So let's see how you're feeling about all of this. Okay, so a lot of you feel like this person is just sitting here telling you whatever it is that you think you want to essentially hear. Maybe you've experienced this many times from this person where they'll sit there and tell you like, okay, like Virgo, like I promise I'm going to change. I promise I'm going to get my act together. I promise I'm going to stop doing this. I promise I'm going to stop doing that. So that's kind of like, you know, the impression that you have of this person is that they're just, you know, telling you whatever it is yeah, it's like this person's coming around your way, telling you whatever it is that I guess they think you want to hear is basically what I'm getting, or at least that's how you feel, that they're just telling you whatever it is that they think you basically want to hear from them. You know, everything that this person's communicating to you, Virgo, it sounds nice and it sounds good. You just don't necessarily feel like they're going to follow through on their promises that they're essentially making in your direction. Okay, fair enough. And maybe they've done it before. You know, maybe this person has made a lot of promises in your direction and, you know, they would turn around and then let you down over and over again. I feel like for the vast majority of you, this is something that you've experienced with this person, making it hard for you to like believe them when they tell you that they're gonna change, that they're gonna get their act together, and that they're gonna stop playing these games and, you know, things like that. Okay, how does this person currently feel? Okay, we have the Page of Swords, we got the Three of Wands. And then we also have the Eight of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. We also have the Hierophant. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Well, Virgo, I'm going to have to give it to them because they do have the cards to back them up on this, okay? But I actually see this person putting forth the effort towards changing whatever it is that you want them to essentially change about themselves, working on whatever it is that you want this person to, you know, work on, is basically what I'm getting. It kind of looks like there's certain things that you would want this person to work on and or change about themselves in order to continue to have you and or keep you in their life. And I gotta be honest, Virgo, I do see them putting in the work to like change whatever it is that they need to change about themselves, work on whatever it is that they need to work on in regards to themselves in order to continue to keep you in their life. At the end of the day, you are somebody who means a great deal to them. At the end of the day, their relationship with you means a lot to them. So if they have to change whatever it is that they need to change about themselves, and that's just what they're going to do. If they have to work on whatever it is that they need to work on, you know, just to keep you in their life, you know, then that's just what this person's going to do. I think that the reason why this person is putting forth the effort now towards, you know, changing their ways, working on whatever it is that you've been wanting them to essentially work on, has a lot to do with the fact that, for one, you guys share a very strong and intense soul-type connection to one another. So this person can feel on a soul level that you're drifting further and further and further away from them. In other words, this person knows as well as feels like they pushed you extremely far. So with that being said, they know the only real way to like reel you back in and continue to keep you in their life would require them to basically put in the work to actually change. And this is kind of why we see them putting in the work to actually change, Virgo, because they don't want to lose you in their relationship with you. Because they can sense and feel that you're drifting further and further away from them. They know that if they don't get their act together, you're going to get up and walk away from them. And you're not going to think about it twice. And this is why this person feels like they have to like start really taking you and this relationship that they share with you seriously, because if they don't, they already know what's going to end up happening here, which is something that they don't want to happen, which is basically losing you and, you know, the relationship that they essentially have with you. So I have to give it to them, Virgo. I understand why, you know, you're in this energy of, well, they've told me this so many times before. So I don't know if I really believe them because they've done this to me before. They'll tell me that they're going to change and then they don't change. They tell me that they're going to stop doing this, down the third, and they don't stop doing this, down the third. But because they have the cards, you know what I mean, to back them up on this, that they're actually putting in the work to actually change and improve whatever it is that they need to improve about themselves in order to continue to keep you in their life, I can't really take this from them, you know? But I understand where you're coming from. I completely understand. I mean, if this person has, you know, made a bunch of promises in your direction many times before and they've let you down many times before, it's understandable as to why you're looking at them like, oh, like they're just telling me, you know, whatever it is they think I want to hear, you know, just to keep me around. So I understand. I completely understand where you're coming from. I feel like it's to the point for you, Virgo, where this person's going to have to really show you, you know, that they're serious about putting in the work to honestly change. Like at this point, them telling you that they're going to change, them making promises in your direction, you know, that they're going to change is not really going to do much for you. Like they're going to have to really show you and prove themselves to you. And I do see them doing that. That's the thing. I do see them doing that. So I can't really take that away from them. If they weren't actually putting in the work to change, then okay, that's a different story. But the fact that I actually see them putting in the actual work to change, I got to give it to them, Virgo. I'm sorry. I got to give it to them. They're actually putting in the work to change. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? Okay. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? Okay. So we do have the Sun, we have the Star, and then we also have the Six of Swords. Very, very soon, Virgo, you're going to have a whole new perspective of this person as well as your relationship with them. Because right now, Virgo, it kind of looks like you don't think things are going to actually work out between the two of you, nor do you think that this person's going to actually change. That is your mindset right now, and that's how you're perceiving this entire situation here between you and this person. But very soon, your perception of this person and your relationship with this person will drastically change, and in this case, it will drastically change for the better. With the Sun coming out here, the Sun speaks of happiness and joy, but it also speaks of illumination. You're experiencing both things here. So you're going to experience an energy of happiness and joy, but you're also going to find yourself seeing for yourself that this person is actually putting in the work to change. All of this is going to be brought to your attention and or highlighted to you, Virgo, in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like when it does, you know, when it does happen, as far as like you essentially seeing that they're actually putting in the work to change, not only is it going to change your perception of them, but it's also going to make you really, really happy that they're actually putting in the work to actually change and continue to keep you in their life. So with the Star coming out here, you know, the Star speaks of wish fulfillment. So a wish of yours is essentially being granted. You've been wanting this person to change for quite some time now, and it kind of looks like they're actually doing it. You've been wanting this person to work on certain things about themselves in order for this relationship between the two of you to work, and I actually see them doing it. With the Six of Swords coming out here, the Six of Swords is all about moving into calmer waters, which I do see this relationship heading in the right direction this time around, but it's only heading in the right direction this time around because they're actually putting in the work to change. Before the Six of Swords comes the Five of Swords, which basically speaks of tension and conflict. Due to them refusing to change their ways, it created a lot of tension and conflict between the two of you. So maybe you guys found yourselves constantly arguing with one another over things that they were like saying and or doing, right? Well, I don't see that being a thing anymore, Virgo. I don't see you being unhappy. I don't see you being upset with this person. And it's all because a wish of yours is finally being fulfilled. You wanted this person to put in the work to change. They're putting in the work to change. You wanted this person to stop doing X, Y, and Z. Well, it looks like they're not doing X, Y, and Z anymore. It's basically what I'm getting. And I do feel like that's going to bring a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, but most importantly, peace into your mind, because you were sitting in a Five of Swords energy for quite some time now. The Five of Swords represents somebody who's constantly looking over their shoulder. You're not going to find yourself looking over your shoulder moving forward with this person. You're just not. And it's because this person's putting in the work to actually change. And I think that that's something that's going to bring a lot of happiness, like I said, and joy into your life, but most importantly, peace into your life, which is something that you didn't necessarily have due to them constantly doing things behind your back, or them constantly doing things that would lead you to think and believe that they're not taking you or this relationship that they share with you seriously. That is now becoming a thing of the past. And you're going to be very, very happy about it. Very, very happy about it. And this moment is actually going to cause the two of you to fall back into alignment with one another. So maybe there was like a massive disconnect happening here between the two of you due to like, them, doing whatever it is that they were essentially doing, behind your back, or them doing whatever it is that you didn't necessarily like and or approve of. What actions will this person take towards Virgo are moving forward? So we do have the Knight of Pentacles, we got the Moon, and then we also have the Eight of Cups. The bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Pentacles, we do have the Chariot, and then we also have the Empress, and then we also have the World. Whatever it is that this person is doing on their end to prove to you that they are willing to do whatever it takes to make this relationship between the two of you work, and they're willing to change whatever it is that you want them to change about themselves in order for this relationship to work. Moving forward, I do see them sitting in this energy of, I don't really know if this is going to improve things between Virgo and I don't know if this is going to cause the relationship between Virgo and I to get better, but I sure hope it does. Like, that's the energy that I see this person harnessing moving forward. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what this person is doing on their end to change whatever it is that you want them to change about themselves, or work on whatever it is that you want this person to work on themselves, but they're doing it, and they're really hoping that it'll change their relationship with you ultimately for the better, but they're not entirely sure if it actually would, but they're willing to give it a go. They're willing to give it a chance is basically what I'm getting. Tell me more about the Moon. Tell me more about the Moon. Yeah, this relationship is finally heading in the right direction because this person is making the choice to change whatever it is that you want them to change about themselves, or work on whatever it is that you want this person to work, on themselves. This is kind of making me feel like at some point, right, throughout the course of your involvement with this person, you wanted this person to change something about themselves, Virgo, or you wanted this person to work on something. It's one or the other is kind of what I'm getting. And this person, they did do that. They put in the work to change whatever it is that you wanted them to change about themselves. They stopped doing whatever it is that you wanted them to stop doing. They put in the work towards improving whatever it is that you wanted them to essentially improve, within themselves. And for whatever reason, Virgo, things continue to remain the same between the two of you, causing like a level of like disappointment on their behalf is basically what I'm getting. And this is kind of why primarily I feel like we're getting this energy specifically for them. It's an energy of, well, I don't know if this is really going to improve my relationship with Virgo, but you know what, I'm going to try because I love them and I don't want to lose them, and hopefully it works out, right? This is kind of making me feel like they have tried to change certain things that you've wanted them to change about themselves, but things just continue to remain the same for whatever reason between the two of you. So there was still fighting and arguing going on, even though they were putting in the work to actually change whatever it is that you wanted to change about themselves. Again, creating that level of disappointment for them. But I am definitely getting that that's more than likely why they feel the way that they feel in the near future, as far as like the energy of them experiencing, which is, I don't know if this is actually gonna work and bring me and Virgo closer, but you know what, I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to give it a go. Hopefully it brings us closer. Hopefully things just get better, right, between Virgo and I. And I think that things definitely will, believe it or not. I think things definitely will. I am definitely getting this relationship between the two of you is finally heading in the right direction. It's going to bring, a lot of happiness and joy into your life as well as into theirs. It's going to bring a lot of peace into yours, just like it's going to bring a lot of peace into theirs. Something that this relationship was really being starved of, which is happiness and joy and peace. This relationship was being starved of that, but that is becoming a thing of the past. This thing that they're doing on their end is just going to bring the two of you closer, and it's going to put this relationship finally, in the right direction, is basically what I'm getting. So I feel like you're going to be very, very happy with the outcome, just like they're going to be very, very happy with the outcome as well, Virgo. So the both of you have a lot to essentially look forward to in the near future within this dynamic that you guys share with one another. All right, so Virgo, that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.